At its core, urban renewal is simply an additional funding source that can be employed by cities and counties. It is unique as the financial impact of this funding source is not on taxpayers, but rather on the taxing districts. It is also unique to other forms of city planning because it not only provides a plan with projects, but ensures a funding source for those projects. Citizens are generally interested in the urban renewal boundary chosen and what projects will be completed, but their primary concern is how it will impact them. Most people want to know if creating an urban renewal area will increase their property taxes. The answer is no, it will not create an additional tax. The key difference between urban renewal funding and other sources of funding available is that urban renewal impacts the property tax districts, not the property tax payers. Local taxing districts, such as the city or county, receive a majority of their funding from local property tax revenues. Property tax revenues are not constant for any taxing district. Revenues for taxing districts can increase in two ways. First, if a property undergoes a substantial improvement or rehabilitation, an assessor is allowed to do a reassessment of the assessed value. The subsequent increased taxable assessed value provides increased revenues. Second, even for property that does not have a substantial improvement or rehabilitation, the assessor can increase the assessed value of any property by up to 3% each year. This up to 3% appreciation is independent of any urban renewal area and will occur regardless of whether a city or county contains an urban renewal area. This means each taxing district can experience up to 3% growth in revenues without taking into account any substantial improvements or new development. When a city identifies a particular location as an urban renewal area, the property tax stream is altered to include revenue for the urban renewal agency. The property tax revenue stream is altered such that the amount of increased property tax revenue generated by the urban renewal area is redistributed to the urban renewal agency. Whatever amount of property tax revenue the properties inside the urban renewal area were generating prior to the adoption of an urban renewal plan continues to flow to the regular taxing districts. It is only the increases in revenue after the formation of the urban renewal area that will be redistributed to the urban renewal agency. This redistribution is referred to as the division of taxes. The division of taxes introduces two new terms to explain the redistribution process. The first is the frozen base, and the second is increment. The frozen base represents the amount of taxable assessed value the year before the urban renewal area was formed. For the duration of the urban renewal area, the overlapping taxing districts will still receive property tax revenue from the frozen base assessed value. The term increment refers to increases in assessed value, and therefore property tax revenue, over the frozen base. This graph illustrates a few key concepts. First, urban renewal funding starts at a trickle. Often in an area, projects are not able to be funded until 5 or 10 years into the area's lifespan. However, once yearly property tax revenues reach an appropriate amount, the urban renewal area can use their income to incur debt. Because urban renewal areas can incur debt, often the urban renewal area will have completed all of its projects, but will still be collecting property tax revenues to pay off their remaining debt. Finally, this graph also illustrates one of the essential goals of urban renewal: to increase the property tax revenue base for all taxing districts. Once the urban renewal area sunsets, all of the assessed value that was a part of the increment now becomes taxable assessed value for the overlapping taxing districts. For more information, contact Doug Rux, the City of Newberg Community Development Director, at 503-537-1212 or doug.rux@newbergoregon.gov.